Alright guys, this is our newest contraption, I guess, or newest thing we have acquired. This is a trailer that I bought from a guy around Hattiesburg, Mississippi. It used to be a camper trailer. Had some boards on it. It was just flat. It's 26-foot decking. And I bought this because Freebird is too wide for my utility trailer, which is over there on the other side of my tractor. It's only 6'6" inside, and Freebird is 7 foot outside of tire, This trailer needed work. I had to put a new jack on it. I had to rewire it. Got all the wiring run. Nice and neat. Put in some lights on the side, marker lights. Put in some extra metal just to help support everything. And was looking for some of this grating and couldn't find any other than spending a fortune on it. Just the new lights on the back. It's got backup lights. Put those on there. Got the brakes on both axles. Got all that. These boxes, guys, if you're going to do any wiring on a trailer, get you some of these boxes. They make everything so much neater. And my little fancy little wire tie straps there, that is leftover zip ties. You know, you get those big long zip ties and use them, and whatever's left over that you pull through, don't throw that away. You can make your little wire ties, fasteners, and all that out of them. Anyway, we put in some extra bracing, and I was going to just put those boards right here on my other trailer. All these boards was on that trailer. It was fully decked. So I was going to put those back on there, back on this trailer, because I couldn't find anything. Well, a buddy of mine came by the other day and we were talking, and I was showing him the trailer and I was telling him what I was planning and everything, and I said, I need to find me some grating, and he said, come to my house, I've got all you need. So he did. Blessing on this trailer. I did do a dovetail. Put this trailer, it's got a 6-foot dovetail. There's the seam right there. See that? I dropped the it has these 2 holes for where the springs hangers right there. It was in the bottom one and it made the trailer sit up really high, so I put it in the top one to drop it down a little bit. But then I run into the problem of, even whenever he had the boards on it, he had it cut out around the tires because it was rubbing. So when I got this grating, I got to looking and I was like, well, that's not gonna work there. So I had to put a spacer that's 2x3 tubing in between there on top of the frame, and that gives me, I think, about 4 inches, 3 or 4 inches, 3.5 inches of space between the tires and that grating. But I didn't want anything. I didn't want to deck the whole thing just because of weight. But this will work. This will haul Freebird and it will haul the Miata. I can put both cars on here. 26 foot. I've got to finish up some welding here on this side. Put in this extra little piece of grating for the transition. It's gonna go in. Let's see if I can get that to go in there. Have to wiggle that a little bit to get that piece of grating to go in there like I did this one on the back. That little transition there. Then do the other side. And this big piece that I have here in the center, right there, that is going to be my ramps. I'm gonna reinforce it a little bit. Probably some of this angle iron that I've got here. down both sides of it. I'm gonna cut that in half, or split it down the center, and cut me out 2 8-foot ramps. And because of that, I mean, I was measuring and looking at it, the angle of the dovetail, to keep from having a crazy angle out there on the end of it to where I'm worried about dragging or anything like that. I'll probably run about almost 8 foot, 7 or 8 foot, maybe get away with 6 once I get it all laid out, pull the trailer out away from the building where I can actually lay that grating and see what it looks like. These pieces here are right at 6 foot long, because pretty much 6 foot long, and I might be able to get away with that. That would be good because I could lay my ramps on this, put me some little things to hold them, and I can lay them there on top of this part in between the runners and let them hang out there, and then hook them on the back when I get ready to load something up. I also have some jacks that I'm gonna mount to support the back of the trailer when I get it ready to load up, just so it helps to not put so much stress when, you know, you see people load up their tractors or cars up on trailers and it starts picking up the back of their pickup. I don't like that. It puts too much stress on the trailer and on your hitch and all that. So this trailer here, it had little short ramps on it. I made some longer ones. I had some grating or like expanded metal across in between here, but I didn't really fasten it real well. It came off, but it still works because those are close enough together you can drive just about anything on there. But see, I've got these pieces here that are welded to them, so when you start up on the ramps, it doesn't put too much pressure on the trailer. There and there, helps with all that. This trailer here, like I say, it's long enough for the cars, or well, for one car, and but it's not wide enough. It's not wide enough for Freebirds. So this trailer here, I believe, is about 7.5, and that's what it ended up being. I didn't change anything on that. Well, 7'3", 7'3" outside to outside. But Freebird, the tires is going to be riding, the center of the tire rides exactly on both sides on top of the frame. So you got tire on either side of that. And then the Miata is going to ride, the outside of the tire is almost directly on the edge of the frame. So the Miata outside of the tire is going to be right there, and then the inside of the tire is going to be over here a little bit. But this stuff was about 14 foot long, right at 3 foot wide. Well, pretty much 3 foot wide. Cut it 18 inches, and it ended up having those little pieces left over on that. And then the other piece is what I put in the front. I put those in the front, and they're smooth on the outside, smooth on the inside, but it ended up leaving that little rod sticking out. So I'm gonna get some flat bar and cap that off so those things are not sticking out there. Looking for some C-purlin. I think I want to get some C-purlin and put down the side of it. That'll make kind of a rib on the outside of that grating, and then cover up my bracing under the side. I got this angle iron here that I added in, and this is the existing or what it came with, these little pieces here. But it's going to work pretty good. I pulled it a few times before I put the grating on it. It pulls really good. Trailer brakes work. I've got some new tires. These tires have really good tread on, but you know, a lot of tires, they don't get pulled. I mean, a lot of trailers don't get pulled a lot, and the tires start to dry rot And this one's got a little bit of dry rot on it, but I think this one on the other side has the most. Got some pretty good cracks in it. And I don't want to have, there's the other piece of grading for this side. I don't want to have any issues with tires, but yeah, this tire here, I don't know if you can see that, it has some pretty good cracks in it, and I don't want to have an issue, take a chance of having a tire blow out. But it's coming right along. You can see my other box. It actually has, I put 3 boxes because this front box, this pigtail for the lights, I think it's about 5 or 6 foot long. It's got an end cap on it, works pretty good. And so that first box, that plugs in, wires into that, and then it leads out with my lights, my marker lights right there, the front marker lights, little bitty ones. And then I run it down to this box here. See that on the other side, and I come out of it with the trailer brakes, and then this one on the back, put another box, and I come out of it, and then goes to each side. I run the wire into the trailer. You see it right there where that wire actually goes. I drilled that hole right there into the frame, and then all my wiring is behind this piece here, and then it goes in each light. But I put that little flat plate on it. I got a screw right there I can take out if I need to access those wires, and then that keeps them all safe up inside of there. These trailer, the backup lights, this end light, the round one on each side, actually lights up whenever the lights are on, just running lights, and that will light up from my license plate. It's going to be right there in the center. Light that license plate up, keep me from getting in trouble for not having a light on it. But yeah, it's coming along. Got a little more welding. I started welding the grating down, started welding the grating to each other, one piece to the other. Once I get all this welded, I'm gonna grind these little sharp points off right there, and then round those little points off just to be safe. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I think it'll serve my purpose. It's not a heavy duty trailer, but it's heavy enough to haul those cars. The Miata weighs about 1,800 pounds, so that's really nothing on this trailer. I'm thinking the Freebird is probably gonna be about 22 maybe. Haven't weighed it, but just going by what it started out as a regular Camaro to what all I've taken off of it, it should be pretty close. Be pretty close to around 2,200 pounds, so less than 5,000 pounds on there. And like I say, got both axles have brakes on them, and all that works. So if you're looking for a trailer, you can pick these up. My friend of mine, landlord, he bought one. He told me he paid $300 for it. He didn't have any decking on it. It was a 32-foot long trailer. He ended up cutting it down to, I think, around 25 or 26 foot. Decked the whole thing, and he hauls his side-by-sides and four-wheelers and stuff on it. You can't beat them for the price. And like I say, both axles with brakes. So even if my truck has my truck should handle it. Pulling it, usually the problem is trying to get something stopped if you have a half-ton vehicle. But with trailer brakes, hey, the trailer helps stop, so we're all good. All good. With the dovetail and the way it sits, these little hang downs actually drag a little bit. I'm gonna cut those off. And they make some things for campers. It looks like almost like a caster, but it don't pivot. And you put those on there. It's a heavy duty steel wheel. It's greasable, and they put them on the bottom of campers, so if it starts to drag, it'll roll. So I think I'm gonna get me a couple of those or something. Maybe just put a piece of pipe across there with a bearing in each end of it, just to help it just makes a bunch of noise. Those pieces are going to end up grabbing on something eventually. But anyway, that's our newest project. I have to do this, so I needed a trailer to haul Freebird to get an alignment. All the front end work I had to do to it, I just kind of eyeballed everything, and I don't want to drive it very far to get the alignment. So I'm just going to haul it with that trailer, but that trailer's too narrow. I thought about taking that trailer apart, cutting the sides off of it, reinforcing the frame so it would be a car hauler, but after I got to looking at it, by the time I do all that, I would have had time and money into it of being close to what I paid for this trailer. And it still wouldn't haul but one car. So this trailer will haul both cars. And so if we ever need to, we'll go somewhere and take them both without having to drive them both, we can hook this up and go where we need to go. All right, guys, that's the update.